A very interesting and important part of the entrepreneurship process is the financing and the funding of your business. Your startup needs some money to get started, so you have to have some money before you can make some money. You also need to invest in some expensive, maybe material, supplies before you can sell this into the product that you've been producing. And you may be requiring later down the road to further invest in order to create some new innovations. So these are the three directions where you require some money. So at the beginning and while you grow. So four locations that you could find some money. The first one is your personal funds. Another one is equity capital. The other one is debt financing. And you could also be somewhat creative in order to make the money work for you. So personal funds is how much money do you have? And personal funds may be also the sweat equity, the value of your work and intellectual properties that you may be bringing on the table. You may also have money that comes from family and friends, and that becomes your personal source of financing. Creatively, you could also try to bootstrap. So bootstrap means that you try to make the money that you have or the money that you spend or the money that you don't have work for you. The idea is that you are being ingenious and you spending the least as possible. And it's oftentimes what every entrepreneur do at the beginning. The one that don't, they spend the money too quick and then they regret having spending it too quick. You have to make that money once to know how it feels, and eventually you become smarter and start not spending your money in things that don't give you a good return on investment. So instead of buying, you start renting. Instead of buying it by yourself, you share with other people. Instead of borrowing, you may be even borrowing. You may be asking money from your clients before they even get delivered, and these advance payments are going to help you finance. So they are somewhat investing in you, your business, for you to grow your business. You try to minimize the expenses. You reduce the expense to the maximum. You buy as cheap as possible. You look for suppliers that have much more affordable solutions for you. You can try to hire interns. So you go to universities and you look for interns. You go to the universities and you look for help with consulting. And sometimes the consulting is free and sometimes the fee is much smaller. So there's now online so many services that help you save. One that comes to my mind is Fiverr.com. Is a very nice way to bootstrap. So should you first decide how much money you need, decide if you're going to be using some kind of loan or if you're going to give away some equity, and then you think about the potential investors or bank loan that you may be getting. So equity funding means that you give a share of your company, versus debt financing means that you're getting a loan. Equity funding is usually giving a percentage of your company, but it could be a percentage also of your profit. There's three sources for equity funding, three types of investors. There's the venture capital investors, the business angels, and then putting it in some stock markets in order to share these with outside people that would invest in your business. So I won't talk too much about the stocks, but it's one of the methods. So what are business angels? They are individuals who are interested in your startup. They may belong to a club, and eventually these people have been investing in their own business, and they want to start investing in other businesses because they are attracted by the return on investment, which is much better than a loan or some stocks that they don't know what they're investing on. So they are interested in taking the risk, interested in knowing the business by themselves, because they find that they are good at guessing, evaluating the business that is going to pan out to become something very successful. So they want to be at the very beginning when it's much more affordable to invest and you have more hands-on. Usually the business angels don't want to have hands-on, but they get closer to the business because it's still very much sort of a human-sized type of business. The business angels don't invest as much as the other group. It's a smaller amount. They're looking for businesses that grow fast. The business angels are oftentimes associated with universities, because they're trying to invest in students. They are very much people that network. So you want to network with business angels or people that know business angels, because you never know. In our location in Southern California, there's 3 very famous business angels: the Tech Coast Angels, the Maverick, and the Pasadena Angel. We are actually in a location which has some of the most active angels investors. The other group of investors are called the venture capital investors, and they are organized under a venture capital company. There are hundreds of them in the United States, and they invest from the very beginning at the startup stage, from the project stage to up to stages where they're trying to scale up the business. They are organized within some organization which are looking at the advantages of the investors. They are offering they first searching for these, filtering these, and then offering these to their members. Their members decide if they want to invest in these, but eventually it's the venture capital firm that will be investing for the sake of the members. The investors who invest in venture capital funds are called limited partners, and the venture capitalists are called general partners. What's interesting is they oftentimes have a specialty. So there may be some venture capital that are specialized in real estate and some that are specialized in health product. You sort of want to go and find which venture capital company is famous for the industry that you are in. They're very hard to get investment. It's easier to get an investment from an angel investors than a venture capitalist, because there are many more steps. There's many more filters, and it's higher likelihood of being rejected. However, they are serious investors because they are investing about 3,500 companies per year, and that's still a significant number. So as I was saying, there are different stages. The pitch for a venture capital firm is very complicated, and oftentimes they train the businesses that they have selected to become potential investors. They actually train them to present to the members, and so they have templates and outline, and they like everyone to go within these, so everyone is sort of using the same format, so it simplifies the process of presentation. What I think is important when you run a business is to know that there's the concept of the profit that the business is going, the fact that it's growing, but also the service that is offering, and maybe the reputation is building. And so we've seen in the past 20 years a lot of businesses who did not make any profit, but yet at a huge valuation, a disproportionate valuation, because it was worth a lot, because a lot of people knew this business, had a lot of people using the business. So eventually, the value is not just from the sales or from the profit, it's also from the reputation. And you may be an entrepreneur that's a business that doesn't make much money, but it's actually worth a lot. And you start actually making the money that you've always dreamed of making the day you sell the business. When you're looking at debt financing, you're looking at a loan from a bank. So there's 2 types of loan that you can get. It's either a loan from a commercial bank, or you could try to get a small business administration loan, which is a loan that is guaranteed by the government. Because commercial banks, that's what they want. They'll give you some money if they have some guarantee, some collateral that reduce their risks, versus the SBA is organized by the government, and the government will select the businesses that they want to support, and then give a warranty for these businesses, and then you'll still get a loan from a commercial bank, but through the government, through the SBA system.